Welcome back to Pudong Jang, and we are out on field 6, and it is more women's open action, I should say. We have England taking on China. Got a couple of special guests in the commentary box. Michael Singh and Corey Russell from the Australian Mixed Open side. Good to see you, fellas.
Thanks for having us, Scotty. It's wonderful to be here with the voice of touch football.
Yeah, Scotty, thanks for having us, mate. Looking forward to this game.
Yeah, so underway. It'll be a good match here between the England and Chinese sides. And Michael, I believe you're looking through the stats in the ladder in the Women's Open division. Talk us through where these two teams are shaping up at the moment.
Yeah, the English side here, they're challenging for the top of the table. I believe this year they're looking to come in the top 2 to challenge for that bronze medal. They're currently undefeated. China's struggling a little bit. I think it's one of their first tournaments, so it'll be good to see how they develop over this series of games today.
So England rucking out of their end of the field, first possession with the football for them now. So let's see how they transition out. They're looking pretty dangerous so far. China on the back foot early on. Oh, that's a bit of a clunky roll ball from the English, but they still managed to progress, go the big looping ball on the outside, but they couldn't connect up there in the corner, England.
There's a great rucking set there by England, going the full length of the field there. So let's see how they hold them out coming out of their own end.
So China just having to come back to the ruck there. They just overran a little bit, and they're coming towards their substitution box now, and they've turned the ball over, so there's going to be a whole bunch of pressure on the Chinese now in this set as England, they look to progress the football. They're heading towards their box as well. They've already progressed past it, so interchange players will come around the back. They switch the play nicely. They'll look to drive in here. Nice early ball from half. There might be a half run coming here. Feel there is now. They just look to link and it's opened up
short
nicely.
Ball, they're in here.
Yeah, eagle eyes, Corey Russell, seeing it before it happened. Took us through that one, mate. How'd they get that touchdown?
Very nicely. A very good strike dump there, and the half has just picked up, and she summed it up very nicely. Hitting a very nice short hole there, and it doesn't come much easier for England. Very good start. Looking promising here for the England side.
So, fellas, you're part of the Australian Mixed Open side. Talk us through your tournament so far, and obviously defending champions as well in the Mixed Open division, so you're obviously looking to hold on to the title.
Yeah, it's been a good start for us. This weekend we've had a couple of wins yesterday and a couple of wins today, and the first day was a bit of a stinking hot day, and got a few wins. I think we won 19-0 and 21-0. And then yesterday we had a tough game against England.
Just stretching down. Sorry to cut you off, Michael. Yeah, just a nice run down the sideline. Too much speed in the end. So really nice try there.
That was some great footwork there, down there by number 11. Great speed to get through and just shut the gate once you get some open space.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but Corey, just talk us through the Mixed Open division. We've made mention a couple of times, heavily contested. Is there 22 sides in total in the Mixed Open division?
Yeah, 22 sides, mate. Yeah, 22 sides. And it's good to see the European countries really, ramping up their games. We've played France, we've played, Germany, and they're not nations to sort of mess with. They they give us 100%. For the full 40 minutes, which is very good to see, and the developing nations that are, you can certainly see them getting better, which is only good for the sport.
And talk us through the conditions. We've made mention plenty of times, the viewers at home might be sick, how many times we've actually talked about how hot it is out there, but just from a player's perspective, tell us how difficult the conditions have actually been out there while you've been playing.
Honestly, not so much when you're actually on the field. I think the problem is when you come off the field. So when you see all the substitutions being made, here we go.
England on again. Yeah, that was beautiful exchange of passing there between the English players. Did really well to hold on to the ball and then progress the ball on again. That was a really good touchdown, and for the players, I'm sure, that are playing in this game, they're going to watch the replay and that'll be on the highlight reel. That was a nice touchdown there for the English side.
Yeah, so now the problem with the heat so much, it's not so much when you're on the field, it's when you take a sub. You really feel the heat impact you when you come off the field, and when you slow down a little bit, that's when you start thinking about the heat. When you're on the field, you don't think about it too much, you just worry about your job that you've got to do. So I mean, that's why you see everyone walking around with the nice cold towels on the back of their necks. That certainly does the job.
So China back on attack here. They're down by 3 early. England definitely looking the dominant side so far in this match, but they come out to the left-hand side of the field now, but well covered from England, and 6 touch there. So we might hand over to the experts. Michael, talk us through how England work their way out of their end of the field here.
So it looks like they've just gone straight down the middle at the moment. I thought they were going to come to their box, but they're just rucking straight down the middle, trying to take a touch on each of the middles and make them keep working. You see the link make the touch there, and they've worked her over. Coming back to the middle for a strike dump. Unfortunately oversteps the mark and has to go back. We'll see what they set for here. I think they'll be setting up for a scoop and looking to go short side. There we go.
He's called it perfectly. Michael seeing that's why we've got the experts in.
Unlucky. It just overcooked it a bit. Too many wheat bix for breakfast there.
The old scoop and short side. It's like you can see into the future.
I think China needs to really work hard to get out of their end here. They've had a couple of sets where they've struggled. They need to keep going forward, and you can see, I think the heat might be taking a toll already on some of their players. You can see them walking behind the play there.
When a side is struggling a little bit like this and they've got a lot of defensive pressure coming at them and they're struggling to get out of their field, how can they counteract that? What other ways can you work to get down the other end of the field?
I think the most important thing is just to get a roll on. You've got to take the touch and make sure there's a dummy half there, and then the next player needs to be hitting the ball on the run straight away. You can't be standing still and letting them shoot up on you and dictate the pace.
So England are in strike position again. They're working down the left-hand side of the field. They'll send it more central into the middle of the paddock. They're just taking their time to realign here. Some subs onto the field now. Nice dump there. They're going back to that right-hand side. They've had a lot of value every time that they've gone out there. Have they got on the outside of the Chinese player? No, touch made.
Great
so
touch
good
there
defence.
from the Chinese winger.
Beautiful work there. So they're scrambling and trying to hold. There's one more touch to go here for England. Let's see if they have a little trick play up their sleeve. They switch in. They come out to this left-hand side. They go back into the middle. I think it was last touch, wasn't it? No, it's last now. So a little short ball.
Just like that.
Yeah, took us through that one, Corey. It was just a nice ball straight off the ruck and just the speed, and they couldn't recover there, China.
Yeah, they've sort of, they've spread them both sides there. They've taken China to the far right edge there, and they've brought it all the way back. Spread their middles a little bit, brought it back to the middle. A nice little strike dump again. Looks like a cheeky little, as they call it, an ML, and she's just, gone straight through and dove over.
So China will be looking to hit back here if they can. They haven't really had many opportunities down on the England try line. The referee calls play on. There's a little bit of a collision in the previous ruck. Moving from half now, they come back out to this right-hand side, but turn the ball over. And so on the flip side, we were talking before, Michael, about China trying to make their way out of the field, but how do they stop this England ruck and this momentum when they're coming out of their end of the field?
I think China's just got to work a little bit harder to get on side and try and take some metres off. If they can take a couple of metres off each ruck, that'll stop them from getting to their try line. They might be able to get the strike dump 10 metres out, which will make all the difference for their defensive line on the line. And you can see here, England's gone the whole length of the field, and for them that's a great set of 6, even though they don't score. They've left it down the other end, and now China has to go the whole length of the field, and we see they spill their lollies before they get there.
Yeah, they just ran into each other there, unfortunately, and clipped the ankle of the supporting player, and that turns the ball over. So it could be alarm bells here for China. England, they'll be looking to get number 5 on the board as they just look to try and get on the outside.
It's going to be interesting to see what England put on the play here. They've obviously got a set play coming on from the box. And they're going to send it wide here, and they're looking for a sweeper, I think, here.
And they get it out. Just that lollipop pass over the top. Beautiful footwork on the inside.
There. That's a tremendous bit of footwork from the winger there, and a low dive. Gets it down early from the recovering defender.
Yeah.
That's great work by England.
Rosemary Kells with the touchdown there. That's number 5 on the board for the English team. And at the moment, it's looking like it might be a long day at the office for China. But they get us back underway now. And as you mentioned early on, Michael, it's good to see that China have made it to the World Cup. Still really developing in China itself, but there are a couple of little provincial areas where touch football is exploding. And to get the team to come here, it's only going to benefit them going down the road.
Yeah, I think it's a really important time in touch football around the world. A lot of the advanced nations are starting to send some of their coaches worldwide and help develop the rest of the world, which shows in a tournament like this where so many nations can turn up. Going from each of the World Cups so far, it's growing, more teams are coming out, and the standard of play is increasing each time. This tournament, you can see England are going great out here in the mixed open. We've got Japan, we've got South Africa, we've got Samoa, we've got Fiji in the men's, Papua New Guinea. All of these nations that have long been thought of as teams that just play it socially are now starting to come into this competitive environment.
So the teams that have made their way over, that was the first quarter break, and they're grabbing a quick drink. We'll take a short break as well, and we'll be back with the second quarter very shortly. And we're back here on field 6, second quarter for China and England. So a quick drinks break there for the players. The temperature is still soaring out here in Putrajaya. This afternoon they come back against the grain here, China. That's nice play from them. They just couldn't hold onto the ball. But yeah, that was decent there, Corey, from the Chinese side.
Yeah, good to see that. They've come out of their their little drinks break, and they've maybe the coach has just thrown a little bit of a move in there for them. It looks slick, but unfortunately just not able to finish.
And England, they're straight back on the attack. The steam rolling, momentum coming through the middle of the field. They go from half again, but that's a nice touch there. Read it nicely, came from the outside in, and number 3 player, Adiguan.
Yeah, very good defence there from the open side middle. Saw the half take off and had it covered.
Oh, unfortunately though, it was Guan just coming through from half and turns the ball over. So again, this could be danger signs for the Chinese side. Every time England have been down this end of the field, I think just about every time, they've pretty much made them pay.
I do looking for a little bit of a strike dump here again and a little bit of a dive at the line.
So Corey Russell now, he's looking into the future. Michael Singh's got 1 on the board, so at the moment Corey Russell has 0. They come out, though they go the dummy instead and held on to. So nice little run at the line. That was Sadie Meakin. So England now, do they go for that strike dump? They're still just dinking around. Here they go. Look for the Rooster play and dish. Can they connect on the outside? Oh, it dips away. Ooh. So Russell stays 0 on the scoreboard.
Yes, 0. Singhy still got me. But yeah, look, again, China sort of had that covered a little bit. A little bit more than they did in the first sort of 10 minutes. England threw a lot at them that set of 6, and it's good to see the Chinese sort of stepped up to the mark.
So this is better from China. They're a little bit more direct coming out of their sub-box with changes onto the field. They've still got to try and keep that momentum going these next couple of touches. Get a nice roll in. That was 6 touch, unfortunately, but they at least got down the other end of the field on that occasion there, Michael.
Yeah, I think that was a really good start from China coming out of their drinks break. They went pretty much most of the field there, and their rucking set to their box looked a lot more smooth and structured there. So that's a wonderful thing to see, and hopefully it continues for this next bit of the half.
And England turning the ball over. They haven't had too many errors so far in the match, but they're looking to shift the ball down their left-hand side and work towards their sub-box potentially, and they turn the ball over. So
this is great defence by England, shooting up and making China go sideways. They're not making many metres, and so they've pretty much been stuck around halfway for a whole set here.
China, yeah, they're just going to finish this set out on their left-hand side. No options for them, and they really didn't get any advantage or take any advantage from the mistake from England.
You can see England here straight away being nice and direct, making plenty of metres down the middle and working over the middle defenders for England, for China.
They're straight away back on the attack. They look to go short. A good scramble defence from the Chinese.
Looking for another scoop play here. I think they'll... Oh, it's going to be a sweeper. There we go, dive at the line. And then looks like it's down there from me. I'll give that one all clear.
And there it is. Corey Russell in the background just saying a set of 6 too late, but it is too late. You're still 0 on the scoreboard. And England, they get number 6. China still yet to score.
I think the big difference between the two teams here, Scotty, is that England are much more direct, and you can see that they just put pressure on China's defence all the time. They're always going towards their middles, tiring out their middle players, and it shows when they get to the defensive end, China just don't have the legs.
So let's see how China go in this set. Obviously tapping off after the touchdown from England, so they're going to be attacking the England line. See if they can move this England defence around. They just get a little bit disjointed there on that roll ball play. It's the last touch now. Again, the England defence, they're just putting pressure. They come up off their line. They force the error from China.
England really starting to tighten the screws here now.
And look at this rucking again. They're just not taking the foot off the accelerator at the moment, England. And the heat's not worrying them.
Straight up the
guts. Skip through. And they're going to kick off. There's no touches been made, so that was just a little bit of individual brilliance there. That was Alison Hogg from England. Saw the space in front of her, put the foot down and streamed away to get the touchdown for England.
Yeah, again, just as Singy said, that's been the difference between the two sides. You can see England when they're at their best when they're most direct, and you saw there, the space just opens up straight away when England are being direct like that.
China back onto the ball now. And they'll be looking to try to get at least one touchdown before the halftime break. But unfortunately, they haven't really looked like getting one so far in this first half. They just turn it back onto the inside. Nice quick ball from the ruck. They try to get on the outside, but they've turned the ball over. So they haven't actually had too many errors as such in their game, but it's just coming down to fifth touch where they're trying to look for that option to try to create something where the ball seems to be hitting the deck.
And you can see England's experience here. They've scored 2 or 3 tries by just going directly down the middle, and now they're just going to the well and tightening the screws like Rusty said, and they're going to probably get another try here.
So running from half, they've got numbers out here.
Great
Gets
catch and
on the
pass.
outside.
Good
And
chase. Just a little bit too quick there on the wing. That's great play by England, summing up the situation perfectly, going at the tied player, getting an overlap, and just great hands there to score in the corner.
Lucy Norborn with the touchdown there for England. It's getting a little bit ugly, unfortunately, now for China.
I think I'd really like to see China here get down the end and try and go for a middle link dump. I think they need to spread them a little bit wider. When they go through the middle, England are too strong. They're shooting up with their middles, they're playing very compressed and tight. And if they go towards the middle link dump, I think it'll create a little bit more space and give them an opportunity.
So China here again, they're attacking the England line. They come back out and to the right side, come back off the right foot, so fifth touch. So probably just that sort of experience factor, which is the difference there, where you're trying to set up. You don't really want to be going for that sort of all or nothing play on fourth as you're driving in on the fifth there, do you, Corey?
No, yes, it's a little bit frustrating when you see sides do that, because then the fifth touch is just a sort of dead play, and it's sort of a bit of a miracle play if you score on the last touch. So, yeah, would have liked them to maybe hold a touch there and maybe set up for the fifth touch, but not to be.
So the England juggernaut rolls on. They're right in the middle of the park. Not afraid to throw the ball around as well. It's fifth touch, so China's actually done a pretty good job here defensively to hold them where they are now. 6 more touches is the call from the referee. So the outside wing from China came in there. That's a real shame because, yeah, as mentioned, that was a good defensive set from China.
Yeah, you saw there the Chinese, they really put in a big effort, which is, it's hard to do at this stage of the game for them, but they did a very good job to keep England not getting too close to their line. But unfortunate there, hand in the ruck a little bit, bit of a grey area, but being given 6 to go. Referee's in a better spot than I am.
So England again on the attack. They've got numbers out here. They take the space still into the in-goal area. Just has to connect. Has a couple of options to take and finds the right one. Cuthbertson gets another touchdown for England, but that was good assessment there. The space was in front of her. She took it and then just had to link up on the outside.
Yeah, very, very good eyes up footy there. Probably a little bit Bradley Russell-esque there, as you saw the medal just go straight up through the guts. Found the open player and Bob's your uncle.
China gets back underway again. England in real control. They've got 9 on the board so far in this match. It's a Women's Open division. As Michael said at the top of the broadcast, England sitting undefeated at the moment. So they're looking good for some playoff action down the road in the Women's Open division. China again.
England's defensive structure is fantastic here. You can see that they're in nice and tight, and they're getting separations between all of their players, which means that there's only one player offside. You can see that 5 of them are usually onside, which means that they can all get up and make the touch, and China don't get anywhere. That's fantastic to see from England.
Yeah, it even forced the Chinese side to lose ground on that occasion, so they're even making field position without the football, and that's even more impressive, isn't it?
I think it's just the experience. You can see it's starting to show now. England are going over the top of them. China are very tired. Last play before the bell here. And I think China will be very happy to get to half-time and have a bit of a breather here.
Yes, a nice diving effort right on half-time, and it is England in this Women's Open match. They're looking really good. They go to the half-time break with a 9-touchdown lead over China. We'll be back with second half action very shortly. And we are back here on field 6, and we're not too far from getting the second half underway between the England Women's Open side and China. But Corey, England just looking far too strong there in the first half.
Yes, they are. they are, Scotty. I'm not sure if the Chinese can pull this one in. I hope they do make half a game of it because they deserve it. You can see the effort is still out there. You know, they're still putting in the work and all that sort of stuff. But as we see England again here at the line, he's called a touch there, yes. Good touch there from the Chinese. Very good defence to start their third quarter.
So they just withdraw a little bit from the 5 metre zone to give themselves a little bit more space as they drive in now on 5th touch. There's players in motion all over the place.
Great ball.
And another one on that left-hand side. They're flirting with the sideline. Yeah, a little bit too close.
He's gone out.
Yeah, have headed over the sideline, so just ran out of room. But yeah, it was good ball movement off that last play there. Almost comes up with the chocolates there for England.
As we saw in the second sort of quarter, the Chinese, they sort of came out with a bit of intent. So let's see how they go here coming out from their halftime break. Hopefully the coach has given them a few things to work on, and let's hope they put it into play here.
So 5th touch now. He did go a little bit more direct, and it's going to be a late pass here.
I think that was great intent from the Chinese there. They've come out, gone directly at the sideline, got some subs on, and they got a good strike up, and they executed. So I think that's a great start to the second half for them.
They come down their sub-box side now, changes onto the field. So really important aspect. Just talk us through, Michael, how important it is when you are making changes to continue that flow with those new players coming onto the field.
Yeah, I think it's really important when you come off the box, try not to go too far sideways. When teams are going sideways, might have a try here. Great hands by the English players there. They ran a little ML play again like they did in the first half. She attacked the space, threw a short ball and then threw the hands and scored in through the link. China are actually defending that quite well. They're getting in nice and tight. Their winger was just about a metre off making that touch. So if she can get a little bit tighter, they can stop that next time.
Just explain to some of the viewers at home that might not be too familiar with some of the touch football terminology. You've made mention of the ML move a few times. It's one that's used quite regularly within touch football. But just talk us through how that move actually comes about.
So basically the attackers have the ball in the middle with their two middles. They dump on one of the middles and they pass it to the link, who's then hitting the line at the middle that's made the touch. They wrap around and they attack the space. It was developed as all moves do when defences started to read the old two-step play, it was called back then. And so there was a couple of coaches that decided to change the attacking action and came up with ML, and now you see all the different variations that all of the different nations and players now play with.
So England are on the attack again, caught from half. So China doing well to hold out defensively. I don't think England haven't scored so far in the second half, have they?
No. Yes,
they have
one.
got one.
Sorry,
My
a short
apologies.
ball there. It's great again. China is starting to go much more direct down the sideline and get their players on. When they come off the box here, I'd like to see them keep going straight, which they've done, and keep the flow on.
Yeah, just didn't have a
They've
half
earned a
there,
penalty
though.
there, which is great news.
So 6 touches here. Couldn't quite see what the signal was from the referee, but the Chinese, they'll hold onto the football. They're going a little bit more straight and direct now as they just knock on in the ruck there, unfortunately, and they're going to turn the ball straight back over to England.
Yeah, very disappointing there from the Chinese. You know, they had a set of 6 on the line there to maybe create an option and create themselves a try, but unfortunately they're just a little bit clumsy around the ruck.
So they shift the ball here, and they've got China on the back foot. They go to the dummy. They might have been able to link up with the wing, but look at this ruck speed here. They're still carrying on. England, they'll look to shift back left, so they're stretching the Chinese defence right across the park at the moment. They go through the middle. They're coming back out to this left-hand side. Can they link up in the corner? There's the dive. And a touchdown. That was an impressive touchdown. Now, as I was making mention in the lead-up, they went from one side straight back to the other. So that was good connection between the England players to get that touchdown.
Yeah, I think that makes it 12-0, but I'm rating that one as England's best try. You know, they've gone the length of the field there, had a couple of very good rucks up the sort of the sideline. Stretched them to the left-hand side of the field, then went all the way back to the other side, and they scored in the opposite end of the corner. So I think that try there is a full team effort. It goes right back to to the very first touch and the very first ruck.
And China having a
much
little
better
dive.
play by China. They're going much more direct and trying to go in between them. I think that's their strategy that they need to stick to try and get some tries here in the second half. They've got one play to set up here, I believe, and we'll see what they do here. Looking for a little quickie. She dummies the quickie, and the saver just steps up and eats that up for breakfast. Great defence there from England. Let's see them come out of their half. I believe they'll go quite direct. A bit of confusion there, but they're going quite direct. They're going to the sub box and running their rucking pattern to try and get some fresh legs on here.
The changes now for England. They just continue that momentum, but they've put the ball down and it changed over. So another error there for England. Yeah, it hasn't been too many in this match, but they turned the ball over as they were coming out of their box. And fellas, you got a game this afternoon as well. Who have you got next? So for those that might just be tuning in, we do have Corey Russell and Michael Singh from the Australian Mixed Open side joining me in commentary for this match. The Australians, undefeated in the Mixed Open division, but who's your next opponent, Corey?
Mate, we play Chile next, and they've actually been looking very strong. And it's very, as I said earlier in the broadcast, that it's very good to see a country that's sort of just starting out their touch football. And they're stepping up to the mark. So Chile aren't going to lay down and be easy beats. We're going to have to show up and go through all our processes and make sure we do all the 1%ers, as our coach McLovett says. And it's not going to be an easy beat. The Chile, they've been playing well.
But no question, Michael, that the Australians, they are the defending champions. They won the last World Cup in 2015 in Coffs Harbour against New Zealand, and obviously you probably have one eye on the Kiwis as well at the moment. But just talk us through the New Zealand Mixed Open side. What are their strengths, and what are the things that your coaching staff and the playing group have identified that you really need to keep an eye out if and when you do come up against the Kiwis in the Mixed Open division?
New Zealand are a quality outfit. They've been developing for the last 4 years since the last World Cup, and they've got some quality players across the park. They've got great footwork, they've got great speed, their defence is excellent, and it's always a tough challenge when we play them. Some of their strike players are world class. Well, all of their strike players are world class. You've got Danyan, who's fantastic with his passing. He's had some games and some time over in Australia, and he's developed his game over there. And it shows that he's brought some experience back to their New Zealand players, that some of the plays that we run. They've brought in Nat Turner, and he's very athletic, great defender, great foot speed, and he's always a challenge to go up to. And then they've got their stalwarts like Mark Hodson and Wiramu, who have been around for the last 4 years, and they give them that experience. And no matter what happens, they always turn up, they're always going hard, and it's going to be a 50-50. If we get to that stage where we play them, it's going to be who turns up better on the day.
So China hold on to the ball here. They're still doing their best to try to progress down the end of the field. This is a nice little run here from the Chinese player. Looks to connect up, but just couldn't hang on to the ball. Nice speed shown there, Corey.
Yeah, the Chinese, again, they're not laying down for the English side here. It's good to see them. They keep showing up, keep putting the effort in, as I said before, and, it's good to see.
Yeah, I think it was 80 Guan. I called her a couple of times throughout this match. She seems to be their most potent attacking weapon for the Chinese side. Just trying their best as England, and they just show and go and get
again
to the in goal. Can they connect
Wingers
up
open.
here?
Oh, has she fumbled that?
Yeah, we're looking for the call. Yeah, the referee has given the touchdown. We're quite some distance away. We're actually in the grandstand over near field 1, so we're looking in the distance, but although we're about 10 kilometres from the field, probably not a good position to be able to call on it, but it still looked like there was a little fumble there.
It looked like there was a little fumble there from, as you said, 10 k's away, but, the referees, they're right over the top of it. They've got a better view than we do, but from the commentary box, mate, that was looking a little bit sus.
Yeah, we'll apologise. We'll probably look back at the replay. I did call a game out on field 6 yesterday, and I think I called it one of the tries of the tournament. We looked on replay, and the bloke was dead set facing Singapore. He wasn't square. He was completely sideways. So Greg Cropper, if you're watching this one, I'm retracting my statement. But the quarter time, that's the third quarter time. Hudo goes in the background. England, it's just more of the same for them. They're continuing to roll on 12-0 on the scoreboard. We'll be back with the final quarter very shortly. And we are back on the women's game between England and China. They are taking their time to get back on the field. Corey, can't blame them. I reckon that last quarter they would have just been going, oh, do we need to go back out there again?
Mate, from the commentary box here, it looks hot, doesn't it? You know, but at the start of the second quarter and the start of the third quarter, you know, the Chinese, they come out with an intent. They come out with a plan. So let's see what they've got here. They've got a whole set of 6 on the line.
So they're driving in nicely. This is pretty good here from China. Nice footwork.
Oh, she's gone down.
Underneath. Oh, might have been a little bit short of the line again. We couldn't quite see, but yeah, almost caught England napping.
Yeah, again, very impressed with the Chinese, how they can keep coming out. They keep showing up. They're not laying down for England, and like they have done at the start of the second quarter and the start of the third quarter, they've showed up here for the fourth, even though being down by a lot.
So England again, they just continue to roll down the field. It's the 5th touch now. They go from half. Nice work off the right foot.
Great defence there by China.
Yeah, good defence. They hold out. Good call, Michael.
Again, they've started well here, China. Coming off a drinks break, they always have got a little bit more energy and they've got a little bit more direction. And I think that's really important as this game wears on. If they can get a couple of times over the try line, that'll be wonderful.
So they're putting pressure on the Chinese side as they're making changes. Oh, there's a little dart down the sideline here. Might have just
see them spread the ball and then see if they can do a switch here in the middle. Might get them chasing in. No. Got confused with the touch count. England coming out of their own end here. Let's see them go direct. They're going to go to the box, get some subs on, and I think they'll come out of the box and go quite direct again and try and get into the in goal and scoop through. That's where they've had the most success. Another ML play and the dive over. That's great play there by England. Being able to do a set play on the back of a rucking set and a subset at that is very hard to do, and so England are coming out and showing all their tricks really.
That's another good point that you make. When you're sort of sitting on top of the table, you got a comfortable lead here against the Chinese side. Do you look to start to pull your cards back a little bit here, and you don't want to show. I'm sure some of the opposition teams from the other divisions might be sitting in the grandstand having a little bit of look at England as well. And given the heat and the amount of games that they have to play, do you look to take the foot off the accelerator a little bit?
Yeah, look, you sort of do, but you've still got to be careful because the Chinese are still throwing a fair bit at England here when they're at the line. As we see them dart to the line, a little long ball, just falls short. But you see there, they're throwing a little bit at the England side, so you can't fully take your foot off the pedal because they'll make you look silly, and you don't want that. And
as England, again, they're going through the middle, and poor old China have just been on the back foot. It's pretty much from touch one where England roll the ball and they just set their sights straight for the Chinese try line down the other end of the field, and the referee's going to get himself into a position to give a penalty here. It's called a forward pass off the ruck, and we've seen that quite a bit throughout the tournament. The referees are keeping their eyes on it, but it's really easy to, when you're rucking at speed, that pass off the ruck can go forward quite easily, can't it?
yeah, also too, when you're rucking like that, you want to run onto the ball as quick as you can, kind of thing, to get your opposition on the back foot. So again, it's just one of those little 1%ers that you've got to look after, and maybe just towards the end of this game here, England with a comfortable lead, they might starting to get a little bit more comfortable and a little bit lazy as such.
Yeah, 6 touch. Probably lucky to get away. It might have been a late pass, but regardless, the Chinese side, they turn the ball back over to England and straight back onto the football. They're definitely not slowing up, that's for sure. The England side, they're probably looking to maybe get some more touchdowns to try to increase their for and against potentially, or really stake their claim at the top of the ladder in their pool. They drive back
little inside ball there by England, and it looks like they're trying to work for that ML play now. It must have been a call from the box. We've got some quick hands here. They're still alive. Oh, just saw it fall short there. Looks like we have a little bit of an injury there in the middle of the field. Maybe a collision. Just trying to see who that is. A little bit of a cork maybe. She's had a bit of an impact. Hopefully she's okay to continue her tournament on.
So the referee blows time back on, and China, they're going to have to do a lot of hard work and try to get themselves down the other end of the field. England again just continue to put that defensive pressure on the Chinese side. The referee, they might have been a little bit too eager there, England. Offside is the call, so more touches.
I think that's really good play by China, going direct at the same player, getting them offside and getting that penalty. That's going to be their best opportunity to get a score. And they're really rucking hard at it here, so let's see what setup they get. There's one coming on late from the box here, which they're a bit confused about. I think they need to set up and try and go at the line again. A little bit of confusion there, I think. I think fatigue's really starting to set in here for the Chinese. It probably does get quite long when you're down a few tries. I think it's 13-0 now. But in defence, they're still trying hard, still trying to get in front, and England is still coming at them.
And they're progressing the ball along the line nicely as well. They turn it back onto the inside now, and they should continue to get that rucking motion going up through the middle of the field. Nice early ball from half. They go more direct again. There might be a half run. Oh, just stumbled there. Sniped from the crowd, but on the deck still trying to get the ball away as well. It was a good effort, but they turned the ball over there, the England side.
Is there someone in those mountains up there, Scotty?
Yeah, there might be. Is that the only comment that you have, Corey, or...?
I was waiting for you to give me a little bit of feedback.
Sorry, mate. We're both looking at each
Left
other.
me high and dry then, mate.
Working out who's going to talk next. And China. Again. Oh, I'd love to see him get on the board.
I tell you what, the England are up quick there.
And the referee, which way is he going to go? It's going to go to England,
over the mark,
unfortunately. So they did give away a penalty, and I think it was the previous set, England for offside, but Well, I suppose that just shows their intention. They're still really coming up out of the line to try to put that defensive pressure on. So again, just shows their intention. They're going to play for the full 40.
Yeah, mate, I'm pretty sure I called them lazy about 5 minutes ago. There might be someone down in that sub box there with a bit of a mic up into this commentary box. They're showing me up a bit here, the Poms.
You better look out when you're heading back to the Australian tent. There might be a few women's open players looking for a get square on Corey Russell. As this is a beautiful bit of ball movement out the back. Nice set piece there from England. And yeah, that was a really nice try. Talk us through that one, Corey.
Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure that one was the ML again, and an awesome right to left, hits the links flat on the chest, and you know all she has to do is run 5 metres and put the ball down there. That was brilliant ball playing skills there from the England side.
So they're racking up a score now. The English, poor old Chinese, are doing it tough. They haven't been able to get a touchdown of their own as of yet onto the board. We're willing them home. It'd be great to see them get across the line. And who's my star player? Is she
that's
out
a
there?
little bit of a forward pass there. Just overrunning it a little bit, getting a bit confused there. I think England made a really good strong touch there, which held up the roll ball, which made it difficult to keep that roll on.
Oh, it was almost another little sniper from the Malaysian mountains. A little bit of a stumble. She got back up and back onto it now. It's not going to be enough to stop.
I think she looked quite classy there, Scotty. I've had a few stumbles in my time coming off the box, and I never got up that quickly, I can tell you that.
Well, mate, I've seen you. You're like a giraffe on ice when you get the wobbles on. And England, they're going to get a penalty here, which is going to help. So we're getting towards the back end of the match now. They'll still, I think, smell blood in the water. Another touchdown.
It's really nice to see England here working for their setup. You can see the winger on the open side here is lined up really tight inside, nearly inside the link there, so that she can catch anything that is thrown short of her. And you can just see England trying to work them over. Here they go. Catch and pass, score on the wing. She dropped the field of lollies. That's
So Michael Singh and Corey Russell, they're making their debut in the commentary box. The first commentator's curse for Michael Singh, chalk that one up. But good game there from England there, Corey.
Yeah, Scotty, mate, just before we go, I'd just like to give a shout out to my beautiful mother, still at home, Janine Russell. I know she would love to be over here supporting the Aussie sides, but unfortunately, with work commitments and stuff like that, not able to get here. But I know she's watching very closely, and she's probably actually listening to the broadcast, mate.
Love Janine. Supporting her boy. You must be proud, Janine. But Michael, you just got a quick message as well that you'd like to pass on.
Yeah, thanks, Scotty. I'd just like to send my condolences out to Team Fiji. There was an unfortunate incident of one of their coaches passing away overnight. Jack Sardee, known as Coach Jack, he's very highly regarded as one of the greatest coaches in the Pacific region. He's been coaching over there for 30 plus years, and he brought Fiji touch to Fiji, and so we really send our heartfelt wishes to those guys, and we hope that they are feeling okay, and we send all of our support and love to them.
Well said, Michael. Guys, thanks for joining me in commentary. All the best for the rest of the tournament. And yeah, we wish you all good luck, and hopefully we see you